With Artur Beterbiev versus Callum Smith happening on January 13th, pros are already putting their predictions in for the fight. Dmitry Bivol doesn't care who wins so long as he gets to fight the winner, and he stated, "I want to fight for all the belts. Beterbiev or Smith, it doesn't matter. I want the winner." Callum Smith believes that he can put Artur out if he can hurt him, and he stated, "It's an exciting fight. It's exactly what I'm in boxing for, to win world titles. I get to win 3 if I win this fight. It's a huge fight for me, but it's a fight I've always liked. I've known of Artur Beterbiev for a long time. I know his style, and I feel it matches up pretty well with mine. I think from a neutral view, it's a pretty exciting fight, but I'm fully confident of going out there, coming out on top, and taking his belts off him. People make out he's this beast. Part of him is 19 fights with 19 knockouts. He's got a great record, and his achievements speak for themselves, but he's been hurt twice, and he does get hit quite a bit. He's not an elusive, hard-to-hit fighter. I do see ways in which I believe I can win. If somebody's there for me to hit, I definitely believe I can hurt them, and when I've seen other fighters hurt them, I definitely believe I can do the same. I'm going over there with the full belief that if I catch him, I hurt him, and if I hurt him, I believe I can get rid of him." Stephen Smith thinks that he knows how his brother can come away as a winner, and he stated, "Definitely, age can play a factor, but I'm confident of what Callum brings to the table. He's got to pick his moment, and he's got to get a stamp of his authority and get Beterbiev's respect. It's a fight that suits Callum. We know Beterbiev will be confident of his own power. He's got a 100% knockout ratio. He's got that for a reason, and he can definitely bang and be confident in his own punches. However, we've got a good anticipation for this fight as it suits Callum quite well. If he anticipates the shots properly and lets his hands go, he can hurt anyone on the planet. If he hurts Beterbiev, he's got to get him out of there." Paul Smith gave his opinion on the match as well.
Callum is now carrying up at light heavyweight that if he touches Beterbiev, that he could either put him down or put him away.
Absolutely, yeah. But also, Beterbiev is a monster himself and a massive puncher. So you've got to be careful and be wary of what's coming back. I'm not saying by any means it's a foregone conclusion. You know, I'm backing my brother, and to be honest with you, I'm never going to do an interview where I say I think my brother's going to lose. I always back him. I always fancy them, but I do look at it from what I see day in day out, as I've always said. You know, and it's a great chance for Callum to. He's a great opponent for Callum to look good against, albeit he's 19 wins, 19 knockouts, never gone the distance, and is a devastating puncher and a very capable boxer as well. People forget like what he can do apart from just being a puncher. You know, he's a good boxer. He controls the ring well. But stars make fights, and I see a lot that Callum can expose with Beterbiev as opposed to Bivol.
Artur's trainer, Mark Ramsey, believes that Callum Smith is the best boxer that they've ever fought. Mark stated, "At the moment, there's no slowdown in the gym. We do not see it in terms of its metabolism and terms of its performance either. As long as it goes well like that, we will continue to drive with it. Callum Smith is the best boxer we've faced. Smith has a lot of skill, speed, and power. It's a tough fight, but a fascinating challenge for us." Paul Smith definitely thinks that this is the perfect time to face Artur, and he believes that Callum has the skills to finish things. Paul stated, "Yeah, it sounds a bit silly, but I'm very confident. I've been saying this since day one because it's my brother. I'm obviously going to back him and not say he's going to lose. It becomes a pretty pointless question, but I'm always going to give the same answer because I'm very, very confident from what I've seen of Callum and what I've seen of Beterbiev. Beterbiev is a monster if you let him. He's vulnerable, and if he's vulnerable and he's in there with someone like Callum, can punch like Callum, and has the timing, accuracy, the brain, and smartness of Callum, then I'm very, very confident. I don't think there's a better time. So we have to take that as a positive." Joe Smith Jr. knows what Artur's power feels like from experience, and he gave his description of what it was like.
"I let out about 1 second of piss into my underwear."
Callum Smith actually believed that delaying the fight would play out in his favor, and he stated, "It's not ideal ideal, but hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement where I can get back active or Beterbiev's not out too long. Possibly. They say everything happens for a reason. I was confident going in there and beating him. I wasn't going in there hoping he'd aged, and that was my only chance. I believed I could beat him regardless. It could be a bit different now, him going into the fight with potentially a year outside the ring at his age and me going into it with inactivity, so hopefully the roles could switch and it might put it a little bit back more in my favor. But it's a tough fight regardless. He's the best in the world for a reason, but I've always felt I've got the beating of him. Eddie Hearn believes that one of the fighters is slipping though.
Smith in Quebec City.
Callum Smith is going to knock Beterbiev spark out, right? You know, like a face down knockout.
I had to disagree.
No, well, listen. You're not being very brave because Beterbiev's the favourite. But watch, see this now. Sometimes you see it, right? And it's going to be up against the ropes, and Beterbiev's going to come in like he does. He's going to square up his feet, and Callum's going to do what he does best, which is counter with the left hook, one punch knockout.
Do you feel like Beterbiev is slipping?
He's definitely slipping. He's like 39 years old, but he's also a beast. He's unbelievable.
He's a machine.
He destroyed Smith in 2 rounds. He destroyed Yard.
Yeah, but
Brown.
Smith done.
Wait, Marcus Brown.
Yeah, Marcus Brown, good fighter. How long ago was that?
A year.
No,
So Eddie,
that was
it
like-
wasn't.
that was like
Eddie,
2 years
Eddie,
ago.
Yeah.
why didn't that?
But
Why
see the
did
yard fight? Like,
given the confidence you have in that win? Why did the fight land in Quebec City and not in
because
Liverpool?
I lost by about $5,000 fucking dollars. I bid 2.15 million and they bid 2.155 million.
Joshua Buatsi definitely wants to see the winner of the fight at some point as well, and he stated, "It gives me a shot at 3 belts. If people are not clear about it, if it's offered to me, I'm not going to turn it down. It'll be a good fight. It might be a good time for Smith to take such a fight, but you can never override Beterbiev. That's a long reigning champion for a reason. Not by chance, not by anything. I think there's things he does well as a champion, but I also bet on myself and say there's things that I do well as a fighter. But let me get in the ring and show something. I can give an all-time great speech. It's easier to talk right now and say, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. It'll be a very, very tough fight. Bloody McGirt thinks that Artur will have to step up his game if he's going to beat Smith, and he stated, I believe that everyone fights to the ability of their opponent. I know that Beterbiev knows he has to step his game up for Callum. He feels he didn't have to step his game up for Yard for whatever reason, I don't know. But I know that he knows that fighting Callum, he's fighting a bigger guy who can also punch, so he's got to step his game up. Demetrius Andrade believes that Artur Beterbiev's power is insane, though.
I'm going with the Beterbiev kid.
The Terminator.
Yeah, well, I don't know what, like he kind of reminds me a little like he reminds me like of the old Arthur Abraham, I think it was, when just like he didn't do much and then pop, and it was just drop. Like, God, whatever he got, man, that's scary.
George Groves thinks that Callum Smith is getting Beterbiev at the perfect time, and he stated, he's a good fighter, he's got good punch power. Sometimes he's blown hot and cold, but I always thought that was maybe weight dependent, and when he does the weight well, he boxes well. At light heavyweight, he hasn't really put a foot wrong yet. This might be the right time to get Beterbiev. If he catches him early and hurts him, Callum Johnson caught him but got stopped. He does go over. It might be the right time for him. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.